In this video we're going to have a look again at question 2 in order for you to have a look at how you can pick up extra marks and improve your mock answer. Question 2 will always ask you to explain how the headline and picture are effective and how they link to the text. So they're the key parts of the question there that I've just highlighted. You need to remember that this question is worth 8 marks, so you must spend around 12 minutes. Question 2 will always ask you to refer to source 2. So the key parts to look at in source 2 are firstly the headline, then the picture, and then you've got to remember you've got to refer to the text, so there are 3 parts to concentrate on. The first part then requires you to analyse the headline and link it to the text, and sometimes to go one step further and evaluate the impact of the headline and picture, and that will give you the higher levels, which will get you the best marks. So to begin with, you need to scan the headline for loaded phrases that might immediately catch your eye. These could be simply connotations of keywords, or they could be more sophisticated devices such as puns or paradox. You could also comment on any use of punctuation. Colons and dashes are ones to look out for here. Think about what tone is being set. Is it something you can link later on to the rest of the text? Is there any contrasts in the headline? So the next thing to do is to scan the picture. The picture is particularly interesting. It can set the tone. Have a look at what the picture is indicating about the article. If there are people in the article, in this case there aren't people in the article, but have a look at where their eyes are pointing. Are they looking at the reader, or are they looking away from the camera? Do they look confident? Do they look nervous? And then have a look at the colour and the scaling in the picture. Is there something in the foreground? Is there something in the background? And then you can comment on what obviously the people who've written the article are trying to draw the reader's attention to. Once you've had a quick look at those 2 things, you can start to tackle the text. Scan the text for things that link to the headline. It could be repeated words, it could be things that elaborate on something from the title, or any contrasting information. You'll probably find that there are lines in the text which actually describe the picture, or there might be words that are highlighted that you could highlight in the text that show what's going on in the picture, or even words and phrases that have a similar tone to the picture as well. As you write, you should be aiming to link 4 points in the headline and picture to the text, and then at a higher level be using some more evaluative phrases such as effectively, successfully, subtly, clearly, efficiently. At this point you might want to pause the video and make a note of these words, because they'll really help you when it comes to your explanation part of your PEE paragraphs. This is a high level skill because it's showing that you're commenting on how effective these presentational features are and how they link to the text. A second really good tip is when it comes to reading and annotating source 2. So when you're in the exam, I think the best way to annotate this source in order to prepare for answering the question is to draw arrows to draw the links between the headline and the picture and the text. And then when it comes to writing up your answer, you just follow the links. So again, if you want to pause the video here, you can have a look at how I've actually gone about annotating this source, and then it will help you when you come to improve your own answer next lesson. So here I've circled band drilling, which is a quote from MPs, and then later in the text explains why they've banned drilling, so there's a link that I've made there. Wake up call here is in quote marks, and then that phrase is also repeated here, so there's a direct link between the text and the headline. Wake up call is a cliche. It sets quite an alarming tone to the headline that something's got to be done quickly, almost like an alarm clock which is about to go off. So you can comment on that, that would be quite perceptive. We've also got alliteration in the title. Could cause colder winters. It all sounds quite harsh, that C sound being repeated, which again links to the harsh, serious nature of the issue of melting ice in the Arctic. And then the picture, there's quite a lot to write about here. With writing about pictures, you just need to really explain what's going on. So here we can see a juxtaposition between the cold ice and the fire. That looks quite unnatural, and there's quite a lot to say about that. We've got words like burn in the text, which links to the burning fire. Where it says drilling for oil here, it actually shows you what the machine is like that drills for oil, the oil rig there right out in the Arctic. There's quite a lot of dirty black looking smoke which seems to be damaging the environment, and you can talk about that and link that to the text. The ice looks like it's breaking up, and then that links here to where it says that there's cold water melting into the sea. So really you need to pick out 4 or 5 key things that you can write about and then get on with it, because remember you've only got 12 minutes, so you need to quickly identify it, make your links with the arrows and then start writing your answer. So this slide we can have a quick look at the mark scheme. The first bullet point on the top band is a detailed interpretation of the effects of the headline. So basically that means you've got to be really clear and really interpret the effect of the headline. Try and stay away from vague, empty statements like this makes the reader think or this makes it stand out. Explain exactly why. Why does it make the reader think? What does it make the reader think? How does it make it stand out? Use some of those phrases from the previous slide to help you to analyse the effectiveness of the headline and the picture. With the second bullet point, it says a detailed explanation and interpretation of what the picture shows. A lot of people just write the picture is big and is in the middle of the page. Avoid vague statements like that. Describe what is in the picture. So in the previous slide we saw that it was an oil rig in the middle of the ocean and the ice was melting into the sea. So just say what you see, describe in detail what the picture shows, and then comment on why it's effective. Then make sure that you make clear links between the picture and the headline with the text, with perceptive comments. So why has that picture been chosen? How does it link to the text? And the same with the headline. And then you must make sure that you've got quotations from the text, because that's showing that you've made those links and you're referring closely to the text. Finally then, here's the indicative comment from the examiner for this paper. These are some of the things that you might have written about. So again, it's a really good idea at this point to pause the video, make some notes so that you're ready next lesson to improve your answer to question 2.